Have you ever wondered what it would take to make you wish for death? Not just consider it, but to actually schedule it in your calendar? Welcome all to our channel. Today we'll all be horror hookers as we'll recap and go through the peak apocalyptic horror, Sweet Home. We'll be recapping, dissecting, and probably losing some sleep over this masterpiece. So grab your emotional support plushie, because things are about to get real dark, real fast. Chapter 1. The day Death got a calendar invite. Picture this, a peaceful urban landscape under a deceptively calm sky. Birds are chirping, some dudes mowing the lawn. Everything looks normal. But then we meet our protagonist, Hyunsu. Hair over his eyes, shoulders hunched like he's carrying the entire K-pop industry on his back. This man screams depression. And then boom! A metal shard explodes from a lawnmower, nearly turning his face into a kebab. That thing goes flying past him and sticks in a tree like some Final Destination type moment. Now, any normal person would scream, jump, possibly need new underwear. But our boy Hyunsu barely even flinches. Mans just whispers, "What the hell?" A panicked security guard rushes over, apologizing for the near-fatal accident, but Hyunsu remains eerily calm. "Sorry about that, kid. Phew, that was a close call," the guard exclaims, his eyes wide as he examines the busted mower with utter confusion. "How on earth was it able to do that?" The guard shifts awkwardly, scratching his neck. "Sorry, kid. Well, figures, because most of the residents here are shitty. There isn't any person to talk to." He clears his throat, maybe realizing he just called his tenants garbage to a new one. "Anyways, I haven't seen you around before, so what brings you here?" The boy hesitates, a shadow crossing his expression. "Just moving in," Hyunsu whispers, barely audible. "What? Speak up, kid. Can't hear ya." "Just moving in," the boy repeats, a bit louder, still monotone. "Oh, I heard someone's moving into room 1410. So it's you, huh? Just by yourself?" Hyunsu's reply is devastating in its simplicity. "It's just me." 3 words carrying the weight of an entire tragedy we've yet to understand. The guard, oblivious to the situation, continues the awkward conversation. "You look pretty young to live on your own, but I guess everyone has their own personal situation. When is your luggage coming in?" "Maybe around this afternoon," Hyunsu responds, still looking away. The old man doesn't push it. "I see, you can go ahead, and as soon as your luggage arrives, drop by the security office sometime in the evening. There are several things you need to know." As he's sending our boy off to his new apartment, he thinks to himself, "Geez, he speaks really softly." And suddenly something weird happens. The guard starts bleeding from his nose out of nowhere. Remember this moment. This ain't just some random nosebleed. It's the first sign that shit's about to hit the fan in ways you can't even imagine. Inside his barren new apartment, Hyunsu stands by the window, staring out at the distant hills. "A small village," he murmurs, then immediately closes the curtains like he's allergic to sunlight. Then just collapses on the floor. Fuck. One word that carries the weight of an entire tragedy. Now we get the flashback that explains everything. 3 framed portraits surrounded by white flowers, his entire family gone forever. The funeral hall is buzzing with angry voices. How could this happen? Where is he? Hyunsu, that shitty bastard, never showed up to his own family's funeral. A woman, probably a relative, responds to the angry man. "I called him earlier, but he never replied back." Figures. And then Hyunsu walks in like he just rolled out of bed. The relatives start judging everything about him. His clothes, his shoes, his entire existence. I mean, man's wearing sandals at a Korean funeral. Now that's aura. The atmosphere crackles with tension as the older relative confronts him. "Hyunsu, you bastard. You got a lot of nerve showing yourself here." But here's the kicker. Instead of apologizing, our boy, standing before the flower-draped portraits of his family, ignoring all the insults, and says, "I checked it out." Confused by his words, his relatives become silent. Hyunsu continues, "I really didn't want to go outside, but there's something that doesn't make sense." He pulls out 3 bank books and drops them on the floor. "These 3 in total come up to $2,000, he says, voice flat and cold, his voice getting louder with each word. "You want me to live on this measly savings?" And then he absolutely snaps. "Answer me, you incompetent asses. How the fuck am I supposed to live now?" In this moment, we see the truth. Hyunsu isn't just grieving, he's been completely abandoned. "Get that fucker out of here!" Multiple hands grab Hyunsu, violently pulling him away from his family's portraits. He struggles desperately against their grip, face contorted with helpless anger. Our boy was thrown out faster than a Karen at a Starbucks. Now we see Hyunsu trying to calculate how long he can survive on this pathetic amount. Fuck, let's see, $2,000. If I spend $3 a day, I have to pay $90 a month. A year should be $1,080, but rent, utilities, food. The math ain't mathing, folks. It's impossible. God damn it! This won't work, he shouts as he throws the bank books on the floor. Then comes his desperate plan. I can sell the house. Yes! That's it! What a drag, but if I sell the house and live in a small apartment. Yes! If I do that. But even as he says it, you can see the hopelessness in his eyes. It's not enough. It's never going to be enough. Yet his voice cracks with desperation, reality closing in once again. Somehow. Tears are pouring out of his face while the room grows darker around him. Shadows deepening as hopelessness takes root in his heart. Somehow. Back in the present, sitting alone in his empty new apartment, his eyes are vacant, emotion drained completely from his face. I should kill myself. We watch as he pulls out his phone. His fingers pause over the calendar app, shaking just slightly. His nails are ragged, bitten down to uneven edges. Each finger seems to carry the quiet weight of stress, the nervous energy carved visibly into their roughened surfaces. He hesitates only briefly on the date, but then types S. He continues quietly, steadily, emotionlessly. Suicide. Then the final words. Suicide attempt. His thumb hovers briefly over the confirmation button. A moment's pause, a heartbeat suspended in uncertainty. And then he presses enter. The confirmation echoes silently, the quiet intensity of his nerves now captured forever on a calendar entry. This right here is why Sweet Home hits different. It's not just jump scares and monsters, it's the psychological breakdown that makes you check your own nose for blood. If you're feeling this breakdown in your soul, smash that like button, and let's keep going. Chapter 2. Isolation and Connection. What if the thing we fear most isn't monsters or death, but the crushing weight of isolation? Our boy Hyunsu about to face the most mundane yet relatable horror, a day without internet in a new apartment. But trust me, by the end, he'll be wishing that was his biggest problem. As the sunset paints the sky in warm hues of orange and gold, the quiet apartment complex stands beneath the fading daylight. Inside one of the modest apartments filled with unpacked boxes, Hyunsu paces restlessly, phone in hand. Yes, hello. So what time do you expect me to come? He asks impatiently. The voice on the other end responds inaudibly, but his expression falls. What? No way that late. Frustrated, he drops his phone on the floor with a dull thud. Hyunsu stares at it, his voice tinged with irritation. Damn it, what am I going to do without internet for a whole day? Driven by boredom and anxiety, Hyunsu scrambles around the apartment, setting up his computer hastily, plugging cables in with clicks and snaps. The computer hums to life, only to deliver a disappointing message. You are not connected to the internet. Hyunsu slumps onto the bare floor in silent defeat, the room engulfed in quiet isolation. Lying on his back, staring blankly at the plain ceiling, Hyunsu sighs deeply. This sucks. Eyes tracing the small, creeping figure of a spider across the ceiling. Suddenly, in bold red words, flash through his mind. What are you going to do about it? His eyes snap open, unsettled. Slowly, he rises, his curiosity piqued by an odd sound coming from the entrance. What was that? He whispers nervously, cautiously approaching the intercom. The blurry figure of the security guard appears on the screen. Hyunsu opens the door slightly, suspiciously greeting. Yes, may I help you? Just reminding you to stop by the security office, the guard explains, an awkward smile forming. Hyunsu narrows his eyes, noticing something off. What's the problem? He asks tentatively, noticing the guard's nose bleeding slightly. Oh, it's nothing much, the guard assures. The apartment building's undergoing some shoddy repairs. If you want to sign a petition. Hyunsu quickly cuts him off, not interested. Oh, okay, the guard falters. Hyunsu bitterly responds. I had a long day, so can you leave me alone? Sure, sorry about that. The guard responds while handing him an orange juice. Here. Our boy, suspiciously looking at the orange liquid. What's that? The guard, attempting friendliness. Call it a welcome gift for a new resident. It's okay if you don't want it. Hyunsu takes the drink cautiously, muttering under his breath as he shuts the door. Weird. Another noise outside catches his attention. Stepping into the hallway, he notices a young woman arguing with her mother over the phone. "Oh, Mom, I said I'll come over if the audition doesn't work out, so stop complaining. This will be the last time. I promise. Leave me alone until then, Mom," she says, irritated. "Sponsor? Where in hell did you hear something like that? No, I'm not doing anything like that. Goodbye," she continues incredulously. As she hangs up, the girl suddenly turns, her frustrated gaze meeting Hyunsu's. Their eyes lock in, her expression remains irritated. Neither says a word. The silence between them feels awkward. The girl continues walking, quickly looking away. "Shit, I'm starving here. Not trying to eat out, but at this rate, I'll starve to death." Her bad streak continues. "What the hell? A nosebleed? This damn diet," she mutters to herself, wiping away a trickle of blood from her nose. Hyunsu can't help but observe her quietly, his thoughts lingering on her situation. Must be a new entertainer, he thinks, analyzing her carefully. By the looks of it, not an aspiring one. As she disappears down the hallway, Hyunsu stands motionless, captivated momentarily by her beauty, as a slight blush forms on his cheeks. The apartment door closes softly behind him. Back in apartment 1410, Hyunsu lies on his floor, eyes distant and unfocused. A haunting thought pierces through his solitude, illuminated sharply against his memories. An image of an extended hand appears. Hadn't I inadvertently given my hand away? Now he sees a flash of a different, happy version of him. Would my life be a bit different? A single tear slides silently from the corner of his eye, glistening briefly before disappearing into the shadows. Night has fallen on the apartment complex. Windows aglow with quiet life, each frame a separate universe indifferent to Hyunsu's solitude. Lying motionless, Hyunsu murmurs softly to himself, "I remembered something unpleasant." Some soap opera running on his TV draws his attention. Muffled voices, "Dear, what are you doing here?" "Mommy, let's play together," he murmurs, boring. Suddenly, Hyunsu perks up, straining to listen, the rhythmic clack of heels capturing his full attention. The lady from next door. The thirsty Hyunsu pauses the movie running on the TV, thinking, has she returned? The thin walls betray more than he anticipated. He sighs, irritated by the intrusion, yet captivated by her presence. Talk about good construction quality. Mans can hear her talking through the wall. "Ah, fuck, I gained 1 more kilogram. That's just great. How long do I have to starve for this?" Quietly lamenting, he whispers, "The soundproof is trash. Damn. Imagine living in an apartment where you can hear every single noise your neighbors make. They'll think I'm a legend." Curiosity wins over hesitation. Hyunsu carefully presses his ear to the wall, heart pounding loudly in his ears. Suddenly startled by a soft meow. Yes, yes, my sweet kitty, your poor owner is starving. You get to eat anything you want. Lucky, you cats get it easy." Our little Sherlock Holmes deduces. Looks like she's taking care of a cat. Then he hears the magical words, "Better wash myself." Intrusive thoughts occupy his mind again, blushing as he jumps back, startled from his perverted imaginations. What the hell am I doing? As he goes back to unpause his movie, a woman's voice from the TV cries out dramatically, "I hate you. If you really do love me, then die for my sake." Hyunsu's eyes widen as he still thinks about his hot neighbor. His cheeks flush crimson as his imagination shifts to the steamy silhouette of the woman showering. Caught off guard by the suggestive scene, he flusteredly recoils. Gross, gross. Well, damn. Our boy has a special kind of aura. Virgin aura. Yet, despite the embarrassment, Hyunsu finds himself reflecting warmly, cheeks still reddened. My next-door neighbor is an aspiring entertainer. With a gentle, contemplative smile forming, Hyunsu muses softly, almost bashfully to himself. Well, this place is not as bad as I thought. A sudden bass rhythm reverberates strongly through the walls. Startled by the abrupt noise vibrating through his walls, Hyunsu jolts to attention. What? He murmurs incredulously. Is that a bass guitar? The energetic silhouette of a young woman passionately rocks out next door, her singing clear through the thin walls. I'm hungry. Give me some rice. Want to eat a steak frog. Such a big poo. Rock and roll. Sitting on his bare floor, Hyunsu's initial intrigue and shy interest quickly transform into irritation. The lively bass thumps incessantly, each note hitting him with physical force. His expression darkens, brows knitted tightly together, teeth clenched in growing annoyance. Through gritted teeth, Hyunsu mutters bitterly. I take it back. This place stinks. But Hyunsu doesn't realize it yet. The noise from his neighbor will soon be the least of his worries. Because in this apartment building, everyone's darkest desires are about to take physical form. And what's coming next will change Hyunsu's life forever. Chapter 3. The Nightmare Begins. It's been a week since I moved here. He narrates, fingers clicking away at his keyboard. His apartment looks like a college dorm after finals week. Pizza boxes scattered like fallen soldiers, empty ramen cups forming precarious towers, and the stale air of someone who's given up on basic hygiene. I don't feel too well because I've been eating fast food all week. The irony isn't lost on him. A guy planning to kill himself worried about his cholesterol. But that didn't really matter. Not like I wanted to live a long life. The glow of his monitor illuminates his hollow eyes as he escapes into the only place he feels comfortable, his MMORPG. His level 99 warrior stands motionless in a bustling virtual town square, an invisible spectator in a world where death is just a respawn away. Something catches his attention in the game chat. Hasn't this guy been just sitting there for 5 days? His eyes shift to another character, frozen mid-spell cast. And she's been standing here still since last week. Did they get a stroke while playing this video game? Suddenly, the stationary character twitches. She moved a little bit. A keyboard macro to not get kicked off. But as he scans the public chat, something disturbing fills his screen. Guys, I've been hearing voices in my head and been nosebleeding every day. Should I go see a doctor? Can it be tumor? Hyunsu, captivated by the drama, waits for the next messages. The voice keeps telling me to kill mom and pops. It keeps ringing in my ears. It's driving me crazy. Answer me, you nuts. I think I can kill my parents asleep in their bedroom if I raid on them with a kitchen knife. Other players respond with typical internet grace. Shut you attention whore. My condolences for his parents for raising tard. Then Gaidri's messages become garbled nonsense, ending with lines of LLL. Something strange is cooking up, folks, and it ain't drugs. First the security guard, then the hot girl with the nosebleeds, now some random gamer online with the exact same symptoms. That's not coincidence. That's foreshadowing on a silver platter. Hyunsu mutters, but a piercing alarm shatters his trash-talking focus. Seriously, this early in the morning? His monitor displays, connecting the security office. Great, there's no one at the office, he mutters. I can't stand this shit anymore. Meanwhile, up on the apartment rooftop, we meet another resident, a rugged, tough-looking dude named Peon Sang-wook, cigarette dangling from his lips. He's puzzled by a locked metal cage door. What the? Why did they lock this door? He yanks the handle frustratedly before lighting his cigarette. Well, then, your fault for locking out the roof. As he enjoys his smoke, a sharp voice cuts in. Excuse me, this is a non-smoking building. The man turns around to find a small girl, Yoon Lee, looking righteous and annoyed. I was wondering who's been littering cigarette butts every day, and it was you, Mr. Mobster, she accuses. Sang-wook looks unimpressed. Me? Every day? I never smoked inside before, and wait a minute, I'm not a mob. Then what are you? She challenges. A good fella? He offers with a smirk. So lame. Okay, Mr. Mobster, if you want to smoke, please smoke on the roof. They even put an ashtray there for you. Are you that lazy to not take a few steps more? The entire corridor of the floor below reeks of your cigarette smell. Hey, brat, don't you see that cage door is locked? I cannot go up even if I wanted to. Sang-wook says, exasperated. Huh? Really? Why did they lock that door? She asks, sounding genuinely surprised. How should I know? By the way, what are you doing up here? Only replies evasively, hiding something behind her back, a lighter. Sang-wook narrows his eyes. Wait a minute, you underaged brat. Who are you to preach on smoking? How old are you, huh? He takes a step toward her. Mind your own business, she exclaims as she's running off. Sang-wook hits her with his ultimate skill. I'm telling on your brother. The girl, stunned by the unexpected damage, tries to bribe Sang-wook by offering every man's weakness. Pardon me, good sir. May I offer you a burger? Too late, kid. By the way, I'll have to ask the security guard to unlock this door. Not today. No one is at the security office today, Eun-lee replies. Yeah? What's up with that, old man? She mutters as she walks away. Back in Hyunsu's apartment, his troubled sleep is haunted by sinister whispers in bold red text. Hyun-cha. Now we see some fragmented memories. His father's voice echoes, "What the hell did you just say? A settlement? Who did this to my son?" Then menacing red text sears into his subconscious again. "What did you expect?" We briefly see his father's surprised face noticing that Hyunsu was eavesdropping. "No one will protect you," the haunting words continue. The young man awakens with a jolt, sweat-soaked and trembling. "A dream again?" he gasps. Checking his phone for the time, he finds a message. 4:34 p.m. Unknown number. Left your package by the door since no one answered and the security office was empty too. "Oh, that must be ramen," Hyunsu thinks, dragging himself up. He opens the door and the hallway is Jackson Pollock's nightmare. Scattered trash, spilled food, and dark splatter stains that definitely ain't ketchup. "What the?" he whispers, taking a hesitant step forward following the trash path to his neighbor door. As he goes around the open door, he notices more blood. "Are these nosebleeds?" he thinks as he remembers the hot neighbor complaining. He leans closer, examining the large stain. It seems too much to be nosebleed. He slowly enters the room, stunned by the scene inside. What in the world? He hears it. Wet, disgusting eating sounds. "Why is she eating my ramen?" is his first thought. The disturbing sounds continue. Something small and metallic drops with a chilling stain. On the blood-stained floor lies a small red pet collar. Hyunsu strains his eyes to identify it better. Then he sees it. The name Kitty is visible, caked in something dark and orange hairs surrounding it. His heart skips, his face shocked. He stands motionless as if playing dead while standing up. Before he can process this, a grotesque, impossibly elongated arm snakes around the corner. It's unnaturally thin, red, scraping across the floor with fingers like twisted talons reaching for the pet collar. Then he hears licking sounds, and the collar is thrown away again. Primal fear floods Hyunsu's system. His hair races, entire body trembles as he slowly steps backward, his foot landing on a discarded ramen package, creating a sharp sound. It was at this moment he knew. A distorted, guttural voice groans from the shadows. "Ah! Something eat!" Hyunsu is cooked. Pure survival instinct takes over. He turns and slips back into his apartment, slamming the door shut. He slowly walks backwards and scrambles under his bed, pressing against the dusty floor, trembling uncontrollably. His eyes constantly locked at the door. He starts hearing noises from the thin walls. He hears steps slowly walking from his neighbor's apartment, panning to the hallway and then stopping in front of his door. Whatever's out there starts checking the door methodically. Then the noise stops, as if the creature is listening. Hyunsu is shitting bricks. His heart is pounding heavy. Eyes are desperately trying to activate the Sharingan, but he's in the wrong manga. And then we hear it. Someone or something rings his doorbell. Chapter 4. Predator and Prey. Meanwhile, oblivious to the horror above, a businessman in a crisp suit approaches the apartment building, chatting on his phone about working late. "Yeah, you should have gone to a different company." "Me? I'm doing okay. Nothing special." Suddenly his call drops. What? Connection lost. In the middle of the call, he mutters, staring at his phone as it displays connecting again. The phone rings and rings, but no answer. The man, startled by the sudden noise of his phone. What's wrong with this? As he tries to call again. A chilling breeze sweeps through the empty street as he senses something behind him. He turns, but there is nothing. "Huh?" As he faces forward again but notices something horrifying. His face is shocked. His phone is violently smashed from his hand. Blood splatters across the pavement as an unseen force brutally attacks him. His phone, screen cracked, continues beeping uselessly as he's dragged screaming into the darkness, leaving only a trail of blood and a forgotten briefcase. Back inside, Hyunsu remains frozen beneath his bed when the doorbell rings. What? What the hell was that? Am I dreaming? He whispers, breathless. Remembering the chaotic scene, that definitely wasn't a human arm. Monster! It was a monster! Startled by his thoughts, he flinches and makes a noise. Ah! He instantly covers his mouth, unable to process the situation, he thinks. But a monster, ringing the doorbell? Then a familiar voice calls from outside, desperate, feminine. It sounds like the hot neighbor. Hello, are you there? My cat is missing, and my room is a mess. Excuse me, please help me. Hyunsu stifles a whimper. It talks? A different voice from before. A monster using her voice? Or is it really her? I was being delusional, maybe. Nobody home? The voice calls again, making him doubt himself. Trembling, he crawls out of his bed to the intercom. He looks at the screen, shocked. He sees the hot entertainer, pale, eyes wide with panic, hair disheveled. She's looking around in panic. "What? I'm really going crazy," he mutters, pressing the intercom button. "Hello, hello? Oh, you were here. Well, what's going on?" Hyunsu stutters. Please help me," she replies with obvious relief. Hyunsu hesitantly asks, "How can I help you?" "Please call the police for me. I don't remember well, but when I woke up, my door was wide open and my cat disappeared. And there was this blood and empty ramen bags on the ground." "Okay, please calm down," Hyunsu says, trying to steady himself. "You don't have a phone?" he asks. "No, I can't find my phone. Maybe I lost it." "Please report to the police for me," the girl pleads. "Well, you can ask security office for help. You don't have to ask me." Hyunsu deflects. That's my man. So introverted and lazy, he doesn't want to call the police for his or his crush's sake. But that grotesque arm flashes in his memory. "Hey, can you show me your arm?" he asks suddenly. "Pardon?" the girl replies, confused. "Let me see your arm," he repeats, more insistent. She pauses. "I beg your pardon?" "Your arm," Hyunsu says again. She stares blankly for a horrifying second. Then her face twists. Her calm facade shatters, revealing something utterly inhuman. Her eyes bulge, black and vacant, mouth stretching impossibly wide with razor-sharp teeth, blood dribbling from the corners. "Please open the door," the monster snarls. "You fucking retard, open the door!" Her face contorts further. "I'm starving to death. Eng." Suddenly we hear the guitar that annoyed Hyunsu previously playing even louder than last time. He looks up, then looks at the intercom. The monster is stunned. The creature realizes something and smiles ominously like she found 2-for-1 special. Something to eat. Then the monster runs off. We see its pace running around the corridor heading for the stairs. Hyunsu snaps. Stop right now! Stop that goddamn guitar!" He screams, grabbing a nearby mop and smashing it against the wall. The pounding ceases. Hyunsu rushes to the hallway, broom in hand. He pants. For sure, it went to the stairs. Damn it, Hyunsu thinks. Then, a surge of something, rage, desperation, insanity, takes over. "I'm here! Come back, you crazy b***!" He screams down the hall, gripping the broken mop tighter. His eyes are locked onto the door leading to the building stairs. Suddenly he hears step. Then another step. Following the sound toward the stairwell door, which is slightly ajar. The sound of the door latch. He grips the broom, preparing for a fight, and hears the steps coming closer and closer. We slowly zoom at the door, waiting for the incoming horror.